traffic light crackdown. And in sports, first at Home Run Derby. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, starts now.
ZNES News and BTC are linking up to bring you Junkanoo live from Bay. Link up for a BTC Christmas today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Less than a week after his remand to the Bahamas Department of Corrections, FTX's embattled ex-CEO and founder, Samuel Bankman-Fried, has apparently had a change of heart. Acting BDOC's Commissioner Don Clare confirming to our news team today that SBF is scheduled to return to court here in the Bahamas on Monday. Now, according to several online U.S. articles, SBF's unexpected court appearance stems from his reported decision to waive his right to extradition to the United States. Bankman-Fried took a different stance during his arraignment before Chief Magistrate Joanne Ferguson Pratt on Tuesday. Now, just to make things clear, the 30-year-old once crypto billionaire faces an 8-count indictment filed by the U.S. Department of Justice. If found guilty on all, that's up to 115 years behind bars in the United States. Back here in the capital, SBF remains in the prison's maximum security medical department with 5 others. According to Acting Commissioner Clare, he is in good spirits, adding that Bankman-Fried is talkative. Well, despite best efforts of senior government officials, the country's reputation as a well-regulated financial services industry continues to be questioned in the face of FTX's widely publicized collapse and the subsequent imprisonment of its now former CEO and founder. Taking a jab at correcting the aspersions is Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, who in a recent interview with Bloomberg News says he does not believe the Bahamas has anything to do with the misdeeds, but rather that the person responsible for the alleged misdeed is caught and punished, and further, will there be compensation for the victims?
At the end of the day, because there are competing legal jurisdictions, there's the United States federal and state jurisdictions, and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, its own jurisdiction. There'll be competing laws at this. It's important for the 2 jurisdictions or the 3 jurisdictions to get together and see how this can be resolved. But it doesn't seem to me that the finger pointing or finger wagging is useful to resolving the process. And that's the simple point we're making. If we want to talk about each country's history, we could do that. But that's not useful at this point to resolving the issue.
Now, Mitchell went on to reiterate a view the Prime Minister shared with reporters just this past Friday, and that's that what happened with FTX was really nothing unusual. The Davis administration, he says, licensed an entity that is supposed to have made significant investments in the country. It just happened that in this particular case, things went bad. In other news this evening, a female pedestrian loses her life on the streets of Grand Bahama. Police today confirming that the tragedy took place late last night in the area of Yellow Pine Street. Preliminary reports are that a dark-colored SUV was traveling south around 10 p.m. when the woman was struck, seriously injuring her in the process. The 41-year-old of Hannah Hill, 8 Mile Rock, died on the scene. This latest tragedy coming just hours after a woman here in the capital lost her life under similar circumstances Saturday morning on Bahama Games Avenue near the Government High School. Police say in this case the driver lost control of the vehicle and collided into guardrails, killing his female passenger on impact. At last report, the driver was in stable condition in hospital. Both incidents are under active investigation. Well, still on traffic news, if you're one to take full advantage of turning left on the red light, particularly on busy thoroughfares, you may want to listen up. In the coming months, traffic police will crack down on that practice. Officer in charge of the traffic division, Chief Superintendent David Lockhart, explains.
The law is designed in a way that you're only allowed to turn left where there are signs posted. I know that there's only one sign posted, which is on University Boulevard and University Commons. That situation is being addressed from the Ministry of Works, and shortly you're going to see signs posted telling you areas where you should not turn left. So those are more of concerns to us because we do know that some traffic crashes has occurred for persons turning left when their light is red. They're not giving way to the persons who have the green light.
On a more upbeat note, Grand Bahama celebrates an impactful collaboration that offers hope to several families this holiday season. For the details, we go to our Jolanda Thompson Everest.
The Collab Center deemed officially open this past Saturday through a ribbon cutting at the Harold Gregory building, where the headquarters will now be located under the helm of the Ministry for Grand Bahama. Among the projects that will fall under Collab is the Transformation Homes and Resource Center, located on Trip Circle, where 9 homes have been renovated for battered women, displaced families, and those in need of rehabilitation. In attendance was the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, the Deputy Prime Minister, and executives from various private and government organizations. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, says Collab will continue to partner with relevant stakeholders to facilitate the basic needs of residents and assist in the growth of Grand Bahama Island.
We recognize that innovative ideas that linked government agencies, NGOs, businesses, and like-minded individuals within the Grand Bahama community would spark impactful collaborations. Because again, 2 is greater than 1. And these public-private partnerships would allow us to work together as a collective to identify issues, join forces, create the framework, and take action for results.
The Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, says that the key focus of the Collab Center is Bahamian empowerment.
It is not simply about providing job and entrepreneurial opportunities. It is about transforming lives. Today, I invite all of you to work hand in hand with Collab, as we are not only bringing relief to those in need, we need it for the growth of this island. I also appeal to corporate Grand Bahama and to the NGOs here today to become a part of Collab to further expand on what can only be seen as a revolutionary initiative that invites true collaboration for development.
A documentary was released displaying how impactful Beautiful Grand Bahama campaign affected over 300 employees. Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, throwing his support behind the transformation and the extension of the program. He states that the open house is a true demonstration of incremental improvement. 9 families who are experiencing challenges will soon transition to the new housing program for a period of 6 months, and the Beautiful Grand Bahama program has been extended to continue transforming the lives of Grand Bahamians and, by extension, the island of Grand Bahama. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson Everest.
Still to come in the weekend edition, computer skills training for Engliston constituents. The details of that and more after the break.
So what's it gonna be? Do you want to be a part of Cash and Go's Home for the Holidays giveaway? Yeah, you.
Me?
You! What are you looking around for? In the magenta? Or is that fuchsia? Doesn't even matter. Get on in here. Come on, hop in the TV. With a purchase of $50 or more, you too can be eligible to win these holiday prizes. Cash and Go. Home for the Holidays.
Christmas time is here. Better be nice, you better think twice if you want presents this year. Whoa, but it's never too late. I'll give you a little time for you to make things okay. So don't cry, be nice, oh naughty Charlie. CBS is coming your way. With Santa Claus and hotcakes and his sleigh.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
11 women of the Engliston community getting a new lease on life. They're the recipients of a training initiative for the unemployed who are in need of certification and computer literacy skills for entry-level positions. Area Member of Parliament and Minister of Education, the Honourable Glenys Hannah Martin, says the group's desire to upgrade is a positive sign, as many of the recipients are either single mothers or underemployed.
This is an invaluable program, and what has happened in this particular crop of students, these are mostly women who lead households, who have children, who have determined that they're going to expand their learning. Out of this program, they have now become, they've mastered Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel, which is the language of the 21st century. And this has been an extremely empowering intervention in their lives.
It means so much to me, being from the Engliston community, to receive this certification. It means an opportunity to open doors for me to a better career.
It motivates me to go on, and I feel, I can't explain it. It's a joy.
Saying that we are moving now to the cashless age where we are using technology, so this is a stepping ground, and I would advise any young person to take advantage of this program.
Well, it was looking a lot like Christmas on the Collins House grounds yesterday as 60 small businesses showcased local products in a holiday pop-up market. Organizer Cassie Knowles was pleased with the turnout, and that's despite the inclement weather.
The majority of these are home-based businesses, and you wouldn't really know about them unless you're on Instagram or Facebook, and it's a lot of promotion that involves like having a crowd and having accessibility to these small businesses. So this is just a great way to find out about businesses that you didn't even know exist and have like direct access to them.
Entrepreneurs Tyra Duncombe of Ty's Craftique and Tennille Francis of Madewell shared how they got started in business.
I've just recently started out, so for me the goal is really to build exposure, to build my brand, and then to get more exposure, to put myself out there so people can know that they can find things that are personalized, anything that they want to put on any design, basically, on any item. That's the goal. So far, I have clientele, repeat customers, but it's really all about growing year by year.
We create handmade polymer clay earrings, so they are for the sophisticated lady who likes bold colors, an edgy look, and everything we have is polymer clay earrings. Like I said, it's hypoallergenic, and you can wear it for any occasion.
Meantime, Santa and Mrs. Claus made a pit stop to Marathon, bearing gifts for all those on the nice list. Now, the Grinch also tried to steal Christmas at the Lou Adderley Park during the annual Christmas party, but Santa's elves wouldn't give him a chance. Marathon MP Lisa Ramming says the event brings joy and hope to constituents.
We're down at the Lou Adderley Park on Claridge Road. We have free gifts for everyone. I say everyone, I mean everyone. We have entertainment, we have food, we have the Urban Renewal Band, we have the Urban Renewal Pop Band. We even have the dancers from Fox Hill. So I'm excited because we want to bring joy, not only to the children, but to the adults that live in this community. And in our country today, a lot of people are sad. They're depressed. You don't know where the next meal is coming from. But of course, in Marathon, this is for the kids. But we also have, with our adults, we go door to door and we're giving out vouchers. We have started, and we're not going to be completed until next week. And so I want to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to my Marathon residents.
Over in Pinewood, over 100 residents were treated. Event organizer and area member of Parliament, the Honourable Miles Loroto, went into the event hoping it spreads cheer and relief to all those still reeling from the staggering effects of COVID-19 and the global economic crisis.
There is a need for jobs in the community. For some reason, government jobs seems to be the way to go for constituents. I think they were shocked from the COVID experience and realized that at least government workers remain on the payroll and were paid. And so even individuals from private sector areas have been applying for government jobs. And so that is the one thing, trying to find work for people in the community is the most pressing issue. We have the drainage, we have the road repairs that will be going on, but if Santa was to give me one a wish, it would be to bring as much jobs in this community as I can.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. Sports is after the break.
The 2022 school baseball champions, R.M. Bailey Senior High School, were treated to lunch by Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, Glennis Hannah Martin, at Green Parrot Restaurant.
What I love about what we're seeing at R.M. Bailey is not just the investment that has come from the human investment from their coach, from the teachers, from all involved. It is the tapping into this potential of our young people. And you can look at these young men, they look smart, sharp, vital, and this is what we know sports can do. That we want to ensure that even if you're not going to be champions like these young men, that you are able to engage in maximum fitness for your mental and physical health.
Undefeated, R.M. Bailey swept the C.R. Walker Knights in the championship, 2-0, behind the pitching of their 15-year-old MVP, LaDanian McKenzie.
They just gone out there, pitch, strike out people, and we keep scoring runs, and we won.
Where do you see yourself going after high school when it comes to baseball? Where do you want to play eventually?
I'm going to make it to the pros eventually.
Head coach Clifton Carey credits their success to his fellow coaches, all teachers, and his young players.
No, we're a Pacer family. For the last few years, through the pandemic, we missed our kids, and when we had the opportunity to come together with our kids, you can see it, you know, the love that the teachers have for these kids, the patience we have for these kids for being away from them so long, but it's a one big family up at that school.
For Ed Talk, I am Vaughn Albury.
NBA League Pass is the coolest way to watch the hottest game there is. When threes rain down and superstars heat up. When clutch jumpers splash and your team is fire. You'll be there for up to 40 games a week. Any way you want to watch. NBA League Pass. Order now.
December 1! Hey! Movies for children. Big man. Rerun seasons and thing, man. Netflix. All day. You understand? So just tell them what Daddy say so. I just send a message and tell them come. Any one of them. And they march.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to sports, everybody. For the first time in the 5-year history of the Don't Blink Home Run Derby, a Bahamian sits on top as champion. With the event returning to the Montague Foreshore on Saturday, Chicago Cubs prospect B.J. Murray defeated fellow Bahamian Trent DeVoe in the final. Murray also led Team Fox to the overall title over Team Isaacs. The 11th edition of the Atlantis Crown Gymnastics taking place this weekend in the Imperial Ballroom. The 2020 edition was canceled due to COVID, and last year's event was scaled back due to restrictions still being in place. So organizers happy to be back up and running at full strength.
We're super excited. This event has grown. Our first year that we ran this event, we had like 250 athletes. This year we're boasting over 1,200 athletes. We have 4 countries represented, and we also have 4 disciplines, which is women's gymnastics, men's gymnastics, trampoline and tumbling, and rhythmic. And that's the first time we've been able to have all 4 disciplines here. So we're actually looking forward to possibly adding acro next year. So we'll have 5 disciplines.
Hope Fest in Paradise, all history now. The opening game on Saturday went right down to the wire, but in the end, it would be Duncanville, Texas, building off their win on Friday and escaping with a 74-73 win over Oak Ridge, Florida. Game 2 saw the Grand Bahama All-Stars getting their first days of action against Miami Northwestern, who won their first game over the New Providence All-Stars on Friday. The visitors in the win column here once again, 66-47.
We had a slow start and not taking anything away from the Bahamian team, but we started picking up towards the half, and we played pretty good overall.
The final game saw Buddy Heal's old school, Sunrise Christian out of Kansas, taking on the top-ranked team in the Max Prep rankings, Roselle Catholic out of New Jersey. Sunrise won their opener on Friday over Oak Ridge, while Roselle fell to Duncanville in a top 2 matchup. The news didn't get any better here for Roselle. Sunrise was shining bright in a 73-62 victory.
Man, I'm so proud of our kids. We're missing John Bowe, our 7-2, who's arguably our most important player due to visa and customs issues. We didn't think we'd get him back to the U.S., so we left him home. And when you leave out a big piece, somebody has to step up. And we literally used almost everybody in these 2 games with this humidity and this heat. We got cramps. We just have a tough group, and it's the first time that I feel like that's Sunrise basketball all season.
The 2022 Tarkanian Classic underway in Las Vegas. The C.I. Gibson Rattlers varsity team playing out of the Gatorade bracket. They start play tomorrow against Chaparral out of Nevada. The Rattlers junior varsity team also in action tomorrow, playing out of the American bracket against Nevada's Coronado High. Coach Yolette McPhee-McQuinn and the Ole Miss Running Rebels women's basketball team back in the win column on Saturday, taking down McNeese State 79-60. With the win, Ole Miss improved to 10-2 on the season.
You know, grateful for the win today. I thought we wanted to work on some stuff in the first quarter. Clearly, we needed some film on it because they scored 21 points in that first quarter. But I use these games to work on things that I know that we may have to use in conference. And so that was an opportunity for us to do that. Overall, kind of tough game for us to play. Usually this Christmas time, these are like trap games. It gets a little scary because people are thinking about being home with their families. But overall, I thought we were able to have that monster second quarter when we went back to what we do, and that's just guard, full court. And I was pleased that it allowed me to give everybody some minutes today.
The 2022 Hometown Lenders Bahamas Bowl, a bittersweet one for UAB interim coach Brian Vincent. It was his last game with the Blazers as former Super Bowl champion quarterback Trent Dilfer will be taking over in 2023. Players and fans alike showed Vincent their appreciation, and he was just happy to be a part of a squad which won 50 games in the past 6 seasons, including a COVID year in 2019 when only 9 games were played.
It just tells you everything you need to know about our program. We've won a lot of games here, 2 championships, 3 West championships, and now our 3rd bowl win. And I'm extremely proud of this staff and these coaches, these players.
That's a look at sports. Check on weather up next.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
First time ever. BTC Boxing Day Junkanoo Watch Party at Fusion Superplex. Doors open at 10 p.m. December 25th. Free admission. Restaurants, bars, concession stands will be open. Lots of free prizes and exciting giveaways. Reserve your seats today. Email reservationsmanagement@fusionsuperplex.com. BTC Junkanoo Watch Party at Fusion Superplex.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. If it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The 19-member committee appointed to present legislative and policy changes for consideration towards the Local Government Act and Manual of Local Government Act procedures submitted their findings to Minister responsible for local government, Clay Sweeting, this week. During a brief handover meeting at the ministry, Minister Sweeting underscored the Davis administration's blueprint for change seeks to improve local government operations throughout the Family Islands.
Being a former local government practitioner, along with POWSAC, as well as director, and then we have two former director and as well as administrator. I think that we have been in the trenches, and what makes it so important is that we understand the needs, what needs to happen in order for local government to take that next step to really be transformative in this country. Upon taking office, we've heard many cries amongst the people in the Family Islands, amongst administrators, amongst chief councilors and council members about the change that needs to happen. So I'm excited about receiving this document and about really bringing a progressive and transformative change to local government and how we operate.
Chairman of the committee, Reverend Dr. Preston Cunningham, says since its inception in 1996, very little change in procedures has occurred in local government. He says the committee's document seeks to change that.
You know, the real message in this must be that the Bahamian people whom any changes will affect must be consulted. And so we did all we could to ensure that the Bahamians in the Family Islands were fully consulted. So when you speak as a minister to all of this, you don't have to feel shaky in speaking. You know, people like to say, you decide this and we know about this. Well, you have the good support of Family Islanders in what we would have presented here today.
Once Minister Sweeting completes his review of the documents, he will work along with consultants and the Attorney General's office to draft proposed amendments to the Local Government Act. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Kendia Smith.
Suncash presents Stick and Win Bumper Sticker Campaign. Deposit $25 or more to your Suncash wallet and get a bumper sticker. If you're spotted on the road from now until January 31st, you will win your share of $25,000 in cash and prizes. When you deposit $25 or more, you are also entered into a raffle for a car. Drawing is January 31st, 2023. Follow us on social media or visit the Suncash website for more information.
First time ever. BTC Boxing Day Junkanoo Watch Party at Fusion Superplex. Doors open at 10 p.m. December 25th. Free admission. Restaurants, bars, concession stands will be open. Lots of free prizes and exciting giveaways. Reserve your seats today. Email reservationsmanagement@fusionsuperplex.com. BTC Junkanoo Watch Party at Fusion Superplex.
Best music, best choreograph, best overall performance, best group performance. We ready? 1201, we line up. We ready to roll this music over, because I know that's what you're coming for. You're coming for music? You wish. In order for you to beat me, you have to come to see me. Line up. We are the champions. We're begging, and we didn't beg to come back. You resign, you in the corner talking, you have plenty things to say. At the end of the day, you have to come to see the Saxon Superstars. Line up.
It's time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. We're currently under mostly cloudy skies with some recent light rains associated with a front that is passing through the area. Temperature at 75 degrees, relative humidity 77%. We have westerly winds at 12 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,016.0 millibars. That is 30.02 inches, and your pressure is rising. Temperatures around the Family Islands this evening. We have 73 degrees in Marshall, Abaco, also Greenville, Key, and Freeport, Grand Bahama at 73 degrees. The Berry Isles 76. Alice Grand Bimini, 78 degrees, 79 in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 77, 77 in Black Point, Exuma, Kemps Bay, St. Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. In Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey, 79 degrees. Georgetown, Exuma, 79 as well. We're picking up some 80s in Ragged Island, Clarence, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, 79, Ackland, 79, Matchitani, Naguat, 80 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. Now for your boating forecast in the northwestern islands. The winds are going to be northwest to north. Behind that front, the winds will be picking up 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights building 3 to 6 feet, and once that happens, caution flags go in place later on tonight. Low tide will occur at 9:25, and then in the central and southeastern islands tonight, southeast to south winds 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights at 2 to 4 feet with no caution flags up. Now tomorrow, which is Monday, in the northwestern islands, the winds will rotate clockwise, becoming north to northeast, further increasing in strength, 15 to 20 knots. Wave heights building further, 4 to 6 feet, so that caution flag will carry over into Monday. Low tide takes place at 10:14 tomorrow morning, with a high tide at 4:01 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands tomorrow, we're going to have a northerly flow at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Satellite pictures showing that front boundary now pushing through the capital, heading into the central Bahamas, but there is a trailing trough, which later on will bring again 1 or 2 passing showers. Our forecast for tonight, we're going in for breezy conditions with increasing amount of clouds, off and on rain and drizzle later on tonight, with a low temperature of 71 degrees. And tomorrow, partly sunny, with winds gradually subsiding. Again, some passing showers in the afternoon. High temperature tomorrow, 78 degrees, and extended weather forecast. That front will back up on the northwest Bahamas on Tuesday, so we'll see an increase in rains on Tuesday again. Some lingering around into Wednesday. Things dry quite nicely on Thursday, but a second front, a very strong one, comes through on Friday, late Friday, and that will bring with it some showers and some thunderstorms. But most importantly, behind that, we're going to see some chilly temperatures that fall with the low temperature here in the capital, getting down to about 60 degrees on Saturday. In the extreme northwest parts of the country, we will perhaps see temperatures in the 50s. Makishla.
Well, sounds good for Christmas, the cool weather that is, Basil. But that ends the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.